And bam. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new thing of Idiot Geniuses. We are here at Idiot Cinema. We're going to be talking about movies, and today we're going to be talking about the 2000 Grinch movie with James Carrey. And I'm joined here by Jack and Katie here. We're going to be talking about the film.
What? I'm so cool,
How dare you
guys.
call him James Carrey?
I was on a school
You
computer,
imbecile.
and it was an essay about Jim Carrey, and it was just, this is James Carrey, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable.
That is terrifying.
But yeah, okay, so this movie is
Man.
a Christmas film, and we're gonna start with going around, and we're gonna talk about what our general opinions on the film are. So Jack, would you like to go first? How did you enjoy this film?
It was better than I remember.
Very descriptive. Thank you.
It was better than I remember.
Did you like Gary Oldman's performance?
Gary Oldman was in the movie.
Katie, you didn't watch it with us a couple days ago, but do you
But
remember?
I've watched it before with I think we watched that Chippewa. I'm gonna guess for that Christmas day. God, that was
boy.
how many years ago? Yeah, but I am very opinionated on this movie. They call it a Christmas movie because it's the Grinch, but I consider it more of a Halloween movie considering how scary Jim Carrey's performance and costume was. That thing, the Grinch will haunt my nightmares. Grinch was not meant to be live action, and it's honestly a disappointment. I hated it. It was long and boring, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Katie gives
the one
excellent
thing
speech.
that I
James's
didn't
background, kaboom.
the one thing that I didn't that I thought wasn't that bad was how horrifying everyone looked in that movie, which they
Literally, I
do.
mean, the thing I liked about the costume design was Cindy Lou Who's hair on point. Other than that, I hated how they designed the Who's for live action. They really put the original Dr. Seuss cartoon film that was meant to be a TV special, not a movie, it's a TV special. But they missed the mark on that one, and they completely ruined the character design.
Damn.
Not only did the costumes look terrifying, but according to facts about things, Jim Carrey was so uncomfortable during the makeup process that he had to take CSI torture training.
Like CIA anti-torture training.
A real guy come in and give him training for that, because imagine how hot that
It
must
was
be
so
filming in a
uncomfortable.
suit for hours. I would simply die. Like, it must have been 100 degrees in that damn suit. Honestly, kudos for him to even take that role.
And
It's impressive.
they said he was really unhappy during the makeup process, and I get why, because he's in that chair for hours, and
5 hours.
If he had ADHD sitting in a chair completely still for hours, man, it would just literally explode.
yeah.
God, they really have to pick actors wisely for roles like that.
I mean, it worked. Jim
I mean,
Carrey
I did enjoy his performance in the film. I thought he was pretty good.
I counter that with an okay performance, but compared to the other actors in the movie, he actually did quite well.
I
It's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, you can't shit on Jim Carrey because he's Jim Carrey.
I mean, compared to normal Jim Carrey acting, it was at the bottom of the tier list, but out of the entire movie, out of everyone in the movie, you just take the whole movie and compare to the acting, Jim Carrey definitely takes the prize.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I liked this movie. I liked this movie, and I continue to like this movie more than the new Grinch movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. I watched that last year.
Don't mention its name.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. It's animated. It was made by the
Really?
same guys who made. Despicable Me made it.
Automatically terrible.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So now that we voiced some opinions on the film, I think we should go through the movie. I know that Katie probably doesn't remember jack shit about it, but
I know some parts. I remember the post office part, and I remember his flashback when he was a kid in the preschool.
The child.
It's the two memories I really have in there.
Before we discuss the plot of the movie, we must go delve into the lore of the Grinch.
he was.
God, yeah,
The
literally
Grinch-
the only reason
movie
why I
has-
was interested in the movie. I wanted to find out what made him hate Christmas so bad.
I
No, it's
feel
not what-
counterpoint.
It's what the Grinch's biology is. What is he? Apparently, someone just Cindy Lou Who's dad calls him a what So if there's Who's,
It's a separate
then there's
species.
what?
It's a separate
It's a
species.
separate species. Then why is there only the Grinch? Do
Because
have
they
someone
killed the
else?
rest of his kind off.
Or the Whovian government committed genocide against the what
Oh my
population?
god, what a theory.
Because they didn't like Christmas.
The Grinch surviving, going on a revenge-fueled like hate rant, just to destroy the Who's, just to get back at them for taking what he loved. The revenge plot.
Oh god.
It's a tragic tale because eventually the Who's manipulate him into converting him to their
religion. It's a tragedy, really, of a Shakespearean scale.
Everyone knows that the basic what biology is that their hearts are very tiny compared to the rest of their body. But the Who's have infected him with so much Christmas joy that they cause his heart to explode.
Oh my good god.
Okay.
We need to delve into the Grinch lore. Because apparently he's
Jack, we can do that later. Save it for the...
superhuman.
Jack.
That's gotta be my Christmas special video. It's gonna be like a 12-hour essay on what the hell the Grinch is the Grinch. What is the
Grinch? Play. Just based on the power of love, I want to know what is going through this man's body. Please, someone let me know what kind of drugs that the Grinch takes, and give me the name of a dealer. Please, just do it for me. I want to know what he gets, who he gets this from. I need some.
Eye on Scrooge.
Oh god.
It's a sedative.
Hear it.
It's
Okay.
a sedative.
With Jack's horrible rant over about the Grinch's genocide and yeah,
They're called the
Whovian genocide that they committed, the Great Purge, if you will.
Town Massacre of 2000.
Oh god.
The Grinch gets angry.
So, we're gonna start the plot now, where we ended the conspiracy theory part of the podcast. That's part of it. That's part of our structure over here. And the first thing they say, we have the narrator. We got Anthony Hopkins, really cool guy, really cool dude. Hannibal Lecter over here.
Hannibal Lecter over here talking about Grinch.
Over here talking about Grinch. And he's different. Well, I don't think I like him as much as the original narrator, which was Boris Karloff, who also played the original Frankenstein in the Frankenstein movies.
Did not know that, but that was an interesting fact. Thank you for sharing that with us, James.
Yeah, he played the narrator and the Grinch in the original animated movie. And
Quite impressive. I actually did not know that, surprisingly. My mom would put me to shame.
and another tragic fact about the Who's lifespan. Their entire world is situated on a single snowflake, which begs the question, does time just move really fast for them? Because you know how fast it takes for a snowflake to fall on the ground and then melt, destroying everything. So,
considering time is probably relevant to their size, so it's very slow. But then, eventually they're flooded. Like they flood and it just ends their civilization. As the snow hits the ground and it melts, their whole city is like swept under like Atlantis.
dead. It's
Quite depressing, considering how many dead humans are probably on the ground as we walk over the crunchy, crispy snow each year.
yeah, I think
Think
it's
about Christmas time.
Do you think the Who's have like a religious like event of like the end is nigh where there's like the snowflake lands and then they all die?
I truly do believe that is quite possible.
The snowflake lands. Our world is coming to an end.
It's like the end of the Aztec calendar. The end of the days is here.
End of the Who's.
Floods.
that needs to be a sequel. When the snowflake reaches the ground, it's like one Grinch decides to save his race from extinction. Because we all know the Grinch's species are like mechanical wizards.
yeah, he just creates a
Basic
hovercraft.
Garbage to create a hovercraft.
Oh my god.
What was the first scene worth talking about in the film? If we were going to talk about, okay, since we probably don't want to go through the entire film, I'm just going to go.
What is the the light LMG before or after the mailroom?
I think it's after. It's after. It's after the
The
mailroom.
LMG is after the mailroom.
So let's talk. Okay, let's just start. Let's talk about the mailroom scene where he gives people jury duty that they didn't have.
Why is there who jury duty? So there is a who government.
There is a who government, and I don't know why, but there's just something really funny about Jim Carrey just violently throwing mail into other people's mailboxes, like just.
The fact that this movie is even more entertaining because I can just imagine this in my brain, and it is a beautiful scene.
Just throwing,
Like he's throwing the mail in there, and he's like, "Fucking jury duty, jury duty, jury duty," and then he's like, "Fucking." What if he threw someone's cancer diagnosis in the wrong mailbox? First of all,
God.
nobody. First of all, a person doesn't get notified they have cancer.
Prostate cancer.
And-
In the garbage.
Fucking throwing them, and then he throws like 10 of them at once, and they all fly into the Grinch is just omnipotent. He's just super powerful.
Oh yeah, because he talks to the narrator.
He does talk to Anthony Hopkins. at one
Obviously,
time.
he's at some like mental level of like a higher being.
Yeah.
He's in some higher mental state where you can. It's like when it's like in like spoilers for What If. It's like Ultron has like all the Infinity Stones and like destroys every planet, and only then can he hear the narrator. And so then the Grinch can just already hear the narrator.
The Grinch is more powerful than Infinity Stone. Ultron confirmed here, folks.
Does that mean if the Grinch wanted to, he could break through our screens and just come outside?
It's best if we don't think about that possibility, Jack.
The Grinch coming to our world is an inevitability. Do not deny it.
He will end
He comes
Christmas.
to us all.
Oh
On
God.
December
I hated that
25th,
so
the
much.
Grinch. If everyone watches the Grinch at the same time at Christmas Eve, he will emerge from the TV screen to give you a lump of coal.
Instead of a lump of coal, Santa now gives the bad children a brain tumor.
Santa gives you cancer. It's like, honey, come downstairs. I think I got coal in my stocking. Geiger counter sound plays. What is that? Uranium.
Plutonium 335.
I just started giving you uranium.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know how to follow that up. I don't-
We started talking about the Grinch, and then we ended on Santa giving people uranium for Christmas.
So yeah, the mail scene. He almost lets the girl die. He almost lets the girl get crushed to death.
Those are down in an incinerator.
The mail sorter is comprised of a fucking hydraulic press that destroys everything. And she almost dies, and then the Grinch is like, no, the Grinch's dog convinces him not to let her die. And he's just like, oh yeah, save her. And then Jim Carrey's
Yeah,
like,
the Grinch's dog.
the Grinch's dog.
The only dog in existence.
I think the Who's ate the other dogs.
Like, where do they get their food?
Oh my
Do
God.
they eat each other or the dogs?
Well, I don't know, man.
This has become quite dark. Wow, I really didn't think this would go down this road, but it certainly did.
I thought we were talking about the movie, and then Jack started spitting out conspiracy theories about it, and then we were just.
I am
The
going
Grinch lore.
to
The Grinch lore.
Okay. Okay, Jack, would you like to talk about the LMG scene now?
The LMG. So basically, Cindy Lou's mother is like trying to set up a bunch of Christmas lights, and then like she has this rivalry with like her really hot neighbor who's like the mayor's like trophy wife basically, and so she's like setting them up, all the lights up by hand, and then this like the neighbor just like, walks out, goes, "Hi, how's it going?" And then he goes, "Oh, setting up the lights? That's pretty cool. Let me whip out my LMG." And so she whips out this goddamn just like Gatling gun that just fires lights out.
Okay, that's another thing I want to add. The actual contraptions they have in any of like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas movies, like the original and the Jim Carrey version, okay, they have the best contraptions, like for real. Like life as a Who would be so much easier. You have guns to your things, your trees. You put them on the ground, they immediately pop up. They have all
The
those cool
LMG.
toys and everything. God, like being a kid in Whoville, best thing hands down. I would love all these wonderful little gadgets you can use to annoy the neighbors, annoy your friends, bully old
wanna,
people.
A convenient tunnel system that leads
Come on,
directly to the
guys,
Grinch's
like-
house.
Oh yeah, there's also this fucking.
Crumpet to crumpet.
There's the fucking air tunnel that leads up the mountain, and they just dump all their trash near the Grinch's house.
Remember, you gotta have like 3 loop-de-loops in there.
They have like, there's one, every pipe in Whoville has one sanctioned loop-de-loop.
Oh my god.
Well, can we talk about the Grinch's crib for a second?
The Grinch's crib is like better than Batman's.
Better than
Okay.
Batman's, dude.
The Grinch cave.
The Grinch cave. So it's powered by nuclear waste, by the way. Powered by
Is it
hazardous.
really powered
Well, it's powered by
nuclear
hazardous waste and other trash.
waste? It's like his lair is powered by the leftover
Maybe I feel like this would be a good moment for you to quote the Sonny from Philadelphia quote. Come on.
What city from the Philadelphia?
I'm a trash
Oh,
man.
you're eating trash? Come on.
The
Come on,
trash
man.
I'm a Is the Grinch the trash man? Eating trash, throwing it all over the ring, eating garbage.
Eating garbage.
He's the
Well, he
trash
does
man.
eat garbage.
He does
Wait,
eat
wait.
garbage. He does. He is the trash man.
He like eats broken
Goddamn
glass.
trash
Is Jim Carrey secretly Danny DeVito? We don't know.
Yes.
That's another conspiracy theory that we're unearthing on this podcast. By the way, the number one podcast in our friend group, because it's the only podcast in our friend group.
You don't have
And
to
until I rival it, I'm joking. I'm probably not as ambitious as to do my own podcast. I'm gonna leave it to you, Jake. You got this.
We're the only podcast to feature such amazing guests.
As Nigel Bach, creator of
I mean, he was
Bad
really
Ben.
good though.
He was really nice.
Nigel
He
Bach
was really
awesome.
good. He was really
I watched,
awesome.
I watched the interview. It was really good.
Cool. Okay, back on topic. Jim Carrey, but green. Did you know that originally for the Grinch movie, the studio executives just wanted to paint Jim Carrey green and have that be the movie
That
because
was probably way better.
they didn't like all the makeup like obscuring Jim Carrey's face because they wanted to have like Jim Carrey be like the front and center. Well, he is the front and center in the movie, but I mean like they wanted his
They wanted
face to be like
more
better.
recognizable
Yeah,
as Jim
yeah.
Carrey.
Yeah.
They didn't want to. It's like the
It's
classic
like a
thing
little
of
bit
like
of the Wizard of the Oz
studio
moment.
executives
The
not
Wicked Witch
wanting.
Queen, and then she like got really sick or whatnot. You know that whole story? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Wasn't her
We should
face?
painting actors. Stop
should.
painting actors.
Stop painting actors.
Right. Come on, guys. Human rights.
Human rights.
Yes.
We should not talk about the many tragedies of the Wizard of Oz set until we talk about the Wizard of
God.
Oz.
Oh,
Okay, I
no,
can say-
no! Like the actress who played, I forget her name, but the actress who played the Wicked Witch of the West got like 3rd-degree burns because of the smoke, the little red smoke.
Oh my
stunt,
God.
Like
Third degree too.
actually
Holy.
caught
shit.
fire.
Yeah.
You got like 3rd-degree burns. The main actress became a drug addict and
Oh my God. Didn't know that one. Okay.
Did you know that one of the midgets hung themselves in the forest?
no, I thought that was a hoax.
In the
Yeah.
forest set?
No, they didn't do that.
Oh, I heard it. I heard that happened.
I'm pretty sure that was a hoax.
I heard that. I don't know if it's a hoax. I heard that. I heard something. But yeah, we should save the Wizard of Oz tragedies to the Wizard of Oz episode. If we do it.
Like the Munchkins didn't hang
There's a
themselves,
lot
but
of-
they did sexually harass Dorothy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love background noise.
Speaking of sexual harassment, what about that scene where speaking of sexual harassment,
Sexual harassment when the Grinch flies into the lady's breasts.
That is something that happens.
yes,
That is something.
Yes.
that happens.
he flies out of a thing, he bangs on a drum, and then he flies into a banner, and then the banner goes back and slingshots him into this woman's breasts.
And then he just kind of
Oh
goes,
my God.
"Hi there."
Make it into a technical kids movie. That is wildly inappropriate for small
It's
children.
it's the nudge nudge. That's an adult moment.
That's
Nudge,
an adult
nudge
moment.
God,
My favorite adult,
I didn't understand what boobs are. They.
Definitely do now.
my favorite joke in that movie was probably the fucking refrigerator joke. Even
What was the refrigerator joke?
What joke was that?
he literally just prank called not Gary Oldman, and he said, "Hey, is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it." And then fucking hey.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's a good one. Oh my god.
That's one of my favorite jokes on the movie. Actually, no, my favorite joke in that movie is when he's talking to the echoes, and he's like,
And then the echo just responds,
"I'm an idiot. You're an idiot." And then he's like shocked, and then he just starts whispering to himself so it doesn't echo off the walls, and then suddenly the echo just comes back and yells, "You're an idiot" at him again, and he's fucking shocked. He's just fucking.
That's beautiful. What a
again-
cinematic masterpiece.
So does that mean that there's a non-physical entity?
Okay, Jack, calm down. Calm down.
Here we go, back on the conspiracy theories.
Calm down. Calm
Yeah,
down.
you're-
There is a
people right today.
entity
Calm down.
living in Jim Carrey's basement.
Okay, fine. Jack, moving on to you. What's your favorite joke of the movie?
I don't really remember.
You don't really
You're
remember.
busy laughing about the Grinch's lore.
We made him like a Japanese warrior.
Because he has like this random robe that looks like a kimono. And so he's like an ancient Japanese nobleman.
Okay. I think we should talk about the holiday Kiermeister. They put him on the chair. And then they proceed to force feed him pudding.
What my favorite joke
What?
was. This is not pudding.
I'd love for someone to force feed me pudding.
You would love for someone to force feed you pudding, Katie?
Force-fed pudding. And this one who just gives him like puts it in his mouth and goes, "This is not pudding."
What is it? What is it?
This is to elaborate.
Like it looked
It's
at.
like, "This is not pudding." It's like, what is it?
What is it? And then they put him back in the chair, and then they feed him fruitcake, and then put him back in the chair, and he's fucking dying. And then he annihilates children in the sack racing competition.
Oh my god.
He annihilates children in a sack race.
Okay,
A lot to take in.
Katie, I like how you. Okay, one thing you said that I disagree with. I don't like that they made the Grinch have like this backstory about why he hated Christmas.
Why? That really, like, I've been wanting to know my entire childhood ever since I saw the original Grinch movie.
lore.
I
It's
have.
like, how could he be so grumpy for no reason? Like, you don't wake up one day and just go, God damn it, I hate this. I'm gonna make life in hell for everyone who's happy. There's something has to happen. Like, it can't just be a big mystery. I'm so glad that they explained it to us, because it was what I needed.
I mean,
Like, my life was complete unless I knew, so.
I mean, I honestly like. Okay, one thing I like about the
The backstory.
No, one thing I like about the Grinch movie with Benedict Cumberbatch was that his backstory was more simple. Like, it was just that he was an orphan, and he was at the orphanage, and every Christmas, all the kids would, like, get adopted, and he'd be there.
Yeah, that's better. I think I've actually seen that movie now that you're saying it. That sounds from.
And he was just there watching everybody. He was at the orphanage watching everyone else have fun, and just.
Yeah, what you saying it, I think I have seen that movie a while
Like,
ago.
I think the original plot
Oh,
was
is
that
it the
you.
animated version?
Yes, the animated one.
Oh my god, I saw that last year. Okay, I remember that totally now. Okay, I got it. I watched that
Okay.
last. The Christmas
Like-
Caroling part in that drove me insane. That's all I have to say.
Okay. The whole thing is that the Grinch. I'm pretty sure like the whole like thing of the Grinch is like he's not supposed to have a backstory because if he does have a backstory, it kind of ruins the whole. It's a guy who hates Christmas but then learns to like Christmas. It's like if you give him a backstory, it's like, oh, he doesn't hate Christmas for the sake of hating Christmas. He hates Christmas because everyone made fun of him because he's ugly. It's not about him hating Christmas anymore. It's just about
It's
him
not
wanting to be
him
accepted
hating
by
Christmas.
everybody.
It just gives you more of an insight to why he hates Christmas.
Yeah, but then like, I can't really explain it that well. But like the whole thing is like he's not supposed to have a backstory, because then like when kids are like reading The Grinch, they're just like, oh, he learned to like Christmas because like Christmas isn't about the presents, about like just kind of hanging out with your family or having a lot of fun with your loved ones, and they kind of like shove that message in the movie at
Not-
like, the last possible second. like it's mainly just about the Grinch trying to get accepted by everybody. So it's like not really about Christmas. It's more about the Grinch and his crippling self-doubt.
That got really deep really fast.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was very deep.
That was a lot.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
It's just your thoughts on the movie. It's just your thoughts. This is why we're here.
It's like, yeah, it's just like it's like a classic. It's like, I'm trying to think of an example here that would like fit like the narrative. Like oh yeah, the Onceler and the Lorax. You're not like giving the Onceler a backstory in the movie ruins the purpose of like what the Onceler's supposed to be. Like the one in the book, the Onceler was faceless and he was supposed to be like he could be anybody. Like he could be you if you grew up and like became greedy. He's supposed to just represent like a silhouette of like a greedy, marginalized man that regrets his decisions. But then like because of that, in the movie, they just like gave him a weird ass backstory of like, oh, he's just trying to fit in. He's sympathetic, and he's like that ruins the whole thing because the Onceler is just supposed to be like a stand-in for anybody, but then they just ruined it by like making him the good guy, the misunderstood good guy.
Yeah.
Jack,
so
now just ruin the wet dreams of teen girls across the nation.
I mean, they can enjoy the Onceler all they want, but like,
oh my god,
it's not good.
Why are so many people simping for the Onceler though?
I don't know.
I personally don't know.
I'm skinny. Ed Helms.
Ed Helms isn't even that attractive.
No, it's his voice.
It probably is his voice. Speaking of musical numbers, we were not speaking of them. Though. There's only one in this movie. There's one musical number. It was like 3 minutes, and then we never got another one, unless you count the little montage. That's not really a number. It's more of them singing in general.
I mean, yeah, because it was in the book.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, that's what like turns the Grinch back to like humanity. That's what makes him love Christmas again, is seeing all of them just like singing together. Oh yeah, they also made the Who's not just like a Christmas loving town, but a corporate cesspool of just marketing.
Yeah. Like with the mayor wanting to cover up Grinch sightings and all he cares about is Christmas and himself, and like he's always the Christmas king or whatever that fucking thing was. He always wins that contest, and he's like, he was the main guy who bullied the Grinch, so he's just an asshole.
Yeah, they stopped making they stopped made the Who's just like a random town that likes Christmas that the Grinch hates. They just like made them a bunch of like greedy, money-hungry toy bags that just go like, Christmas, it's Christmas, yeah.
Like they had a dude whose job, they had a guy in Town Square, his entire job was to look at a thing that just counted down the minutes, hours, and then days until Christmas.
He's so excited that he just looks at the timer for all.
And every minute, I think he announces when they're closer to Christmas, and like they have like minute-long sales at their stores.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first, folks. The Grinch is actually a metaphor for capitalism.
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 Oh, alright.
Isn't that like every Dr. Seuss turned movie, like book turned movie? Like the Grinch is about capitalism. Lorax is basically just capitalism.
The Cat in the Hat is Nightmare.
Actually, with like one little bit of capitalism, like a bit of advertising in there, because like the joke where they're flying down like the big river, and he goes, "Only at Universal Studios, cha-ching."
Like he's like, it makes me feel like I'm at Universal Studios. The entire movie stops. He holds out a flyer.
Like I'm gonna ride an amusement park. Only at Universal Studios, cha-ching.
God, we're gonna have to talk about the Cat in the Hat sooner or later. We're gonna have to talk about the movie sooner or later. So, we talked about things that we sort of liked, sort of didn't like, but what's one thing that you really hated about this film? That you really hated about it?
The whole film.
You hated the whole movie?
I did. It really put the original to shame, and it was just so disappointing.
I mean, the Who's were like...
I can't even make a comparison. Like, it completely ruined the original for me.
I mean,
Like, now I hate both of them because of this movie.
this is one of those movies where they probably had like a decent idea, and then I feel like they just thought, hey, we're gonna put Jim Carrey in this, and he's gonna carry it for like.
Yeah, they had a good idea, but they absolutely butchered it in production. That's
I mean,
all.
the real idea of that entire movie was to make money.
Yeah, definitely.
Jack, all movies are based
but,
on
like,
All movies
Trust me,
are meant to
movies-
make money.
on pay.
I mean, like, some movies try to, like, at least try to tell something. Like, tell a story while making, like, mad cash, like the Marvel movies. They're like, let's make mad money by adding all these, like, popular actors, but then, like, try to make something decent.
Like they make a husk of a movie, and then they rely on one or two good actors to put some soul into it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's like the Grinch. It has like the classic like they took like the first bit of the the original story and the last bit of the original story,
And then just
and then
filled
just
it
like
with.
removed the middle and then filled it with like random jokes. At least it's like not as much as like a reference spewing cash grab like the Cat in the Hat.
Okay, if I'm gonna say one thing good about this movie, but some of the jokes land for me. I feel like the set design and the design of the Who Town and like all their little contraptions
I
and like
like the town. I do have to say that. I did like the town.
the design is pretty good. Like the design looks really good. One thing I didn't really like, I already mentioned the backstory part, but that's like here or there with this group right now. The backstory part I didn't like, and some of the jokes just didn't land.
Yeah, some of them didn't land, but like if you're trying to watch it like a Grinch movie, it's like terrible. But if you like turn your brain off and just
It's like a Fast and Furious movie.
And you turn your brain off and just be like, "What the hell am I watching?" You're gonna have somewhat of a good time.
Like it's a Christmas movie. It's supposed to
I
make.
agree with that. I totally, yeah. Like if I did that, I would get it. But I'm comparing it to the one that I grew up watching, so to me,
Yeah.
it's dog water.
If you compare it to like something that, if you compare it to like the old movie and like the classic story, it's obviously like, so like imagine like an empty swimming pool, then you fill that swimming pool with like gasoline, and then you throw shit on top of that, and then you light it on fire.
I can picture that in my mind, and it is truly amazing.
Katie,
Picture the smell.
did you say that this movie ruined the original for you too? Is that what you said?
It did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
That's how much it affected me, because now I can't watch the original without getting flashbacks to the trauma this one caused me.
Just watching the Grinch, like the original animated movie, and then just be like, "Oh God, Jim."
I mean, you know that Jim Carrey always kind of gives like 100%.
Yeah.
But
he's the only one actually trying in this movie.
yeah, like I feel
Probably not as much because he hated making it, but like.
Yeah, but I mean like every actor, like even if you hate it, like you still gotta put on a good show and like like it's just like I know that he was my favorite. Like
kudos to him for doing that. He always gives it his all, and that is impressive.
Yeah.
Well, he was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
He was just doing like the most Jim Carrey he's ever done.
Yeah,
like random noises, extreme like arm flailing, weird accent.
He couldn't really do like his facial acting with the makeup though. Like I think
he sure did try.
A big part of Jim Carrey's whole thing is his facial acting. He's really good at facial acting.
Like, I mean, he sure did try.
His eyebrows, man has legendary eyebrows for his expressions, I must say.
And like Jim Carrey is probably one of my favorite actors. And he's even good like in more modern movies that I've seen him in. Like the Sonic movie, he was probably my favorite part of that movie.
I mean, he in the Sonic movie, he was like acting like Jim Carrey, but a more toned down Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So it worked with the movie.
Yeah. And I liked him even like in more serious roles. Like there's this TV show that he's in right now. It's called Kidding, and it's really dark and serious. But
Yo,
he,
remember the number
Oh, yeah, I think
24?
my mom's actually watching that right now.
27?
I
don't
do.
know. It's the one where he's a detective. He's like,
I haven't
this
seen
is
that
Joe."
one. I haven't seen that one.
I've seen the number 27. I don't remember anything.
Now,
So I
that
can't
was an interesting movie to watch, I must say. I didn't
like you
fully
kept making
understand the
connections
plot,
to like
but-
27. Like, did you get like the whole thing at the end? Like, if it's a spoiler
Well, I
for that
don't
movie,
really
like, no
remember
one's watching the
considering
movie.
it's
He's the
been-
killer.
years, but I should probably
Uh.
rewatch that, to be honest. I didn't think it was that great, but I should probably reevaluate.
Apparently, it was one of his like worst movies. So
Yeah, I can definitely agree that it was.
Yeah, like one of his newer movies is called like Dark Crimes or something. Got like 0% on like one of the
God,
websites.
Yeah.
James Carrey, what the hell?
I mean, he's still doing stuff. Like he's a painter now. He's an accomplished painter.
That is impressive, actually. I didn't know that. I actually want to look into it now. As a fellow artist myself, I would love to check out his work.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I want to see
Yeah,
if I can
absolutely.
find some interesting facts about this movie.
So, as a little, so you guys, I feel like we've talked about a lot of the movie, and I feel I feel like we can wrap her up now, if we could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I can
I
find
think
any,
we have a really in-depth perspective on this.
Yeah.
if I can find any fun facts.
Find any fun trivia facts.
Where's the fun facts?
Oh, Katie, did you know? You know that one scene where he takes the tablecloth off of the table, and then it stays perfect, and then he walks back into frame and destroys it?
I actually want to do that.
That was improv. It was the stuff on the table was supposed to fall off, but it didn't. So him coming back and knocking it all down was improvised.
That is actually amazing. I can do the same trick, so I feel special.
Oh, okay, yeah. So here's some fun trivia.
Yeah.
In the scene where the Grinch is directing his dog, Max, like when he was like teaching him to be a reindeer.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Stealing Christmas, it was actually Jim Carrey making fun of the producer and director Ron Howard, imitating his style of directing.
Really? Oh my god, that's funny.
Howard thought it was hilarious, so he added it in the movie.
At least he's a good sport and didn't like fire him over it.
I mean, are you really gonna fire Jim Carrey?
Some
In the final
probably
scene,
Yeah, you're right.
Cindy Lou Who
Some
passes
people
Max
could be real
a plate of green eggs and ham. That's pretty
Sick.
Oh yeah, when the Grinch pulls the sheet off the table, all of the silverware was scripted to fall off with the sheet. Jim pulled the sheet off so well that nothing came off, and he went back and ruined the table.
Like I think that was one of my more genuine laughs in that
Yeah.
movie was him coming back and annihilating the table.
that was a good joke.
Yeah.
Producer and director Ron Howard was so thankful for Jim Carrey putting up with the uncomfortable hours to apply his makeup that during the film he put on the Grinch suit with full makeup and directed One Day with the Suit On. He intended this to be a show of appreciation to Carrey. However, when Carrey saw Howard in the full Grinch outfit, he was angered, believing it was a stunt double who looked nothing like him.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh.
Way the
Poor
wrong
Jim, poor
having-
Jim. He was like, I just want to show my appreciation. Who is this ugly man? Why is he in this stunt double?
It was this ugly man.
The original Grinch was not green. Like everything else in the book, he was
Really?
black and white with some red-pink splotches. But the producer and
Oh,
director Ron
yeah,
Howard
yeah.
wanted the movie to be like the 1966 TV special.
I mean,
See,
that's,
it was a TV special. Called it.
I did not know that there was a. Actually, I should have known that there's a book. But I didn't.
I kept referencing the book.
I didn't know that. When were you doing that?
When I was discussing about how giving the Grinch a backstory kind of ruins the whole like lesson of the movie.
Well, I thought that's what you were. I thought you were explaining the
When
TV
I said
special.
the original story, I was talking about the original.
Yeah,
book.
I thought you were talking about the TV special because that's really what
Yeah,
I.
it's still like the TV special is still like a shot for shot, like
Yeah.
page for page thing. Jim Carrey accepted the role of the Grinch when he heard a tape of kids' choir singing the song "You're a Mean One."
That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Well, Jim Carrey's got a Jim Carrey.
The Grinch is the only character who breaks the fourth wall in this movie. He actively tries to avoid speaking in rhyme and even interacts with the narrator.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, the fourth wall, but I wasn't sure if it was the correct term, but yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fourth wall.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not a nerd. I tried my best, okay?
It's okay.
Jim Carrey admitted to feeling ashamed for not trying to prevent some of the adult humor in this movie. He has repeatedly stated that all of the jokes he had ad-libbed were age-appropriate. He then found out that the producer and director Ron Howard had removed many other jokes that were even raunchier, but had to keep some of it due to what they both claim as studio interference.
Oh my god. See, I like Jim Carrey, because honestly, keeping it age-appropriate considering it is a kid's movie, like, way to go for him.
Like, I didn't really think the joke where he flew into that woman's breasts
Yeah, that's definitely not
didn't land at all. Wasn't that funny. Wasn't funny at all, actually.
It's just gross humor for views, and honestly, I'm not on board with that.
I
think that's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah.
I'm trying to find another really good one.
I kind of want to learn how the mayor... I want to hear that story about how the mayor was able to get his tonsils removed twice.
Me too.
Like...
Wait, did they just grow out? How does that work?
He said in the movie that he got his tonsils removed twice, and he was about to tell the story, but then the Grinch entered, so...
They need to make a bonus special just to explain. Like, I need that to happen.
A prequel movie. The Grinchverse will expand.
Oh my god.
Trying to find some...
You can't find anything, it's okay, I can wrap it up.
Tim Burton was considering direct it, but there's a conflict.
So good. Tim Burton is my idol. He is amazing, and I love every single one of his films.
Approximately 600 visual effects were used in this movie.
Wouldn't doubt that.
Max was originally going to be a CGI dog.
Oh no.
And that would have been so bad. I would have hated that.
Jim Carrey would smoke often in order to cope with the stress caused by his intense makeup, which he compared to being buried alive. However, as his suit was covered in flammable yak hair, he had to use a very long cigarette holder in order to avoid a potential fire hazard.
And he just lit himself on fire alive. Now that would have been a tragedy. And
oh yeah,
the Cursed movie where the lead actor lit himself on fire. That would have been something.
"Where Are You Christmas" was written by Mariah Carey.
Oh no!
That's why I hated that scene so much.
During shooting, more than 1,000 man-hours were used to apply the extensive makeup.
1,000?
Yep.
Whoa.
1,000 man-hours.
That is insane.
More than.
Yeah, Jim Carrey has every right to hate his life.
No, that was just for like
everyone. Oh, it was for everyone. It wasn't just Jim Carrey.
No. Let's see here. Cindy Lou, who has actual eggnog on her head when she nominated the Grinch, it even spills slightly in a shot. Oh.
That's okay.
The real Santa Claus is shown for a total of 5 seconds in the movie. The Grinch and Max are the only ones who see him, since all the Who's are asleep. Oh, was Santa Claus actually in that? Could you see him like riding off of the distance?
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, he got on the sleigh and then rode off.
Oh wow!
I probably watch it just for that part. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey stated on the Graham Norton Show, season 16, episode 11, that the only thing that helped him endure the hours of being in makeup was listening to everything that the Bee Gees has done.
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees? Oh, sorry. I'm very uneducated.
That's okay. Okay, so is that all the trivia you got for us? Yeah, that's it.
There's one more. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one just kind of sounds weird. Martha May's Whovier nose appears to be sculpted to look more human, giving her a more attractive appearance when compared to the other Who women.
Why would you want to make a Who attractive? This isn't a pick a Who dating site. This is a kids movie.
But it's supposed to be like the token hot girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate stereotypes. They should not have even had that in the kids movie. Who is looking for a token hot girl in a children's movie?
Studio audience.
Didn't she had the hots for the Grinch,
Yeah,
which
she
I
had
don't,
the hot for the Grinch.
which I don't,
Good God.
like, I mean,
mean, the Grinch
Jim
is
Carrey,
superhuman.
but I mean, like, the Grinch.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, so that's, yeah, I
That
think
is the review.
that is the review. To wrap up, we
Full
talked
episode
about,
of Grinch lore coming out soon when I feel like making it.
yeah, so
Oh,
to
good God.
wrap up this episode, we talked about,
Do that.
there's definitely people that want to see your Grinch lore. But
I
yeah.
wanna try to make it.
But yeah, to wrap up, we talked about conspiracies. Conspiracies, ancient Japanese lore,
Some surprisingly deep
studio
conversation.
meddling, Jim Carrey's hatred, and just in general, The Grinch, released in 2000. Was it a good movie? No. But was it enjoyable? Kind of, a little bit.
I thought it was enjoyable.
But yeah, that has been Idiot Cinema, so please like or dislike. If you didn't like it, don't. You can do whatever you want, I don't care.
So we can't see it.
Like, love you guys. Please like us. You're great.
Share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. We hope to get a couple more episodes out in December because I want to do more Christmas movies. And yeah, that's about it.
You should ask the audience if they would like us to watch one of the worst Hallmark movies and give it a full rundown, like CD romance,
Oh my god, I want to do
yeah,
that.
boyfriends, like everything, the whole Christmas shebang.
You guys want to do that
You
next,
know,
So many.
next week,
There's
guys?
So many of them.
You guys got time next week? Okay, well, yeah, that was Idiot Cinema. Have a good night, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.